All right, Sarunas J. Jackson is in studio with us.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us on the podcast. You also include the middle name, so we've had back-to-back middle name folks.
Initial.
Back-to-back.
You keep saying name.
What do you mean?
People actually
All right,
use their
fine,
middle name out
initial.
here.
You know,
Initial.
people know what
It's
I'm talking
initial,
about.
it's
Ooh, we're gonna
initial.
be corrector, Mr. Corrector today.
My God, that's how we started.
Initial. Okay, so we had Jordan L. Jones in last week. What was your inspiration for including your middle name, your middle initial in your public name?
The aesthetics, and I think it's really strong. The J Jackson, like. Boom, like y'all know I'm here. And I feel like for some reason for me, when I'm like looking at the credits and stuff like that, when somebody had the middle initial, I looked at their name and I remembered it. I was like, oh.
Strategic.
It's interesting.
You know what I'm saying? But I feel that's a wave with brothers like Michael B, Jordan, Uncle Sam, you know what I mean? Like I got a question the other day on Twitter twice that they were like, are you Samuel L. Jackson's son? And I just said yes. I said yes. No explanation. And it would appear. I was like, yes, period. And they're like, wow, like you're doing your thing, following your father's footsteps. Like, like shout out to you. And I was like, appreciate it.
Yeah, man. You got to send people to the wiki page.
And
you know
then another one is, for some reason, people think I look like O'Shea Jackson Jr. So it's a light-skinned beard thing, though, I think. So I don't think I really do.
I'm not going to pretend like I can see that because I don't.
Thank you.
It's light-skinned beard.
That's what I'm saying. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's like the Drake,
It's
Travis
weird
McCoy, all that
stereotyping.
stuff. We're all like Rick Gonzalez. You know Rick Gonzalez? He was on Coach Carter, Timo Cruz.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so
Yeah.
me and him, we get that a lot for some reason, especially like when we have like facial hair, like or whatever.
So here's a disclaimer: all actors are not related.
Yeah.
But you are a very tall actor,
Absolutely.
notoriously actor. He's on Insecure on HBO, by the way, which we should have mentioned. Amazing show for the culture. Love
that's
Insecure.
the best.
Yes. But you're a very tall actor. How tall are you?
Yeah, I'm 6'8".
6'8". Most actors are like my height.
Absolutely.
I'm 5'2".
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get crazy and give him 5'4",
5'7".
5'6". Okay, but that, like, for me, whenever I have to do shoots with my male counterparts, or basically just anyone, I have to get on an apple box because I'm extremely short, and there's nothing I can do about that, except for just live big, you know?
Right.
But
You do it.
in shoots, like, how do you do that? Can't do any walking scenes, right? Is Molly tall?
Yeah, well, I will say this
gonna call her
about
Molly. That's
Yvonne.
That's her name in the show.
Shout out to Yvonne. You know what? I will say that our cast is unusually tall.
Okay.
Jay Ellis.
Yeah, because Issa looks tall.
Issa's about 5'8", 5'9", both of them. Yvonne and Issa are about, and then the character Molly is bougie or, lawyer, wears a lot of heels, nice heels, high heels. So being 5'8", 5'9", plus that, it makes us kind of proportionate. Jay Ellis is about 6'4". Issa got a brother on the show who plays like 7, but he's supposed to with a 5 in the middle of his hat. He's like a rapper on the show. A lot of his scenes were with Daniel, the Lions character Daniel. He's 6'5". So.
Oh, okay.
And Daniel's about 6 foot around.
No way.
No way.
What tall is he? No, he's probably the one that fits your, like, he's like 5'9", 5'10",
the guy
like
plays
10.
Okay,
5'10".
5'9" is okay.
He's 5'10".
All right, I'm 5'2".
Oh, okay. I'm
I know.
in my
at a
family.
party,
It
he
might
had some
seem like
Timbs on.
5'2" to you.
He was up
He's
there.
about 5'10". Yeah. So,
So the cast is mostly tall. So you lucked out there. Okay. Because we were wondering about that yesterday. Like,
Natasha, she's tall too. That plays Kelly. She's tall.
Yeah.
Amanda has decent height on her.
Okay.
So
you also played basketball.
I did for a while. Yes, I did. I played overseas and everything.
And where did you play overseas?
All throughout Asia.
And you played AAU with Paul George?
A lot of people. There was. PG was. So we all played underneath Pump and Run's umbrella. So Pump and Run has pumped out all types of
Shout
talent.
out.
You know what I mean? So like, James Harden played in it. Me and James were never on the same team, but he was underneath that for a little bit. I mentioned my late great friend Tyler Honeycutt. He was in the same. Got drafted by the Kings second round. We were on the same team. My boy Malcolm, who is the son of Mr. Washington, Denzel Washington, he played on the same team. We had a lot of good talent come through there. So yeah.
So you're a big basketball fan still?
Absolutely, yeah.
Who's your team?
Sixers. Come on.
Okay.
Sixers.
That's not all right.
That's not common knowledge.
No,
I feel like if you follow my social media, then yes, it is.
You are a Philadelphia sports fan.
Absolutely.
John Hill here is a Philadelphia sports fan.
Great.
So
Okay.
he had a nice year.
Good person. Yes.
Congratulations. That runs over.
It does.
For the Eagles for this year.
Absolutely.
Another one could be beginning.
Yeah, maybe. All right,
They really do
but you're
anything
from
in
LA.
I was raised in Cali. Yeah, moved out here as a child, like
So
real young.
What's the Philadelphia link?
So father is born and raised there. Me
Okay.
born there, and then moved out here as a child, and then we moved to Pasadena first, and then made our way to the Inland Empire. So I was raised in IE. You know, basically that's where I'm from.
Okay.
But I mean, it's just the thing is, I mean, it never left. It's just once you start, especially Philadelphia culture, you're a fan like out of diapers. I had all type of Eagle. And my dad, like the first pair of shoes I got were these high top black Nikes, and that's because he got them because the Eagle team, all their shoes are high top black Nikes. Wow. It was just, you're just kind of already in it. So by the time I moved out here, it was like,
okay, so that makes
Allen
sense.
Iverson's rookie year and stuff.
Your,
like, you know,
your sports roots from your father.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right,
and then, I mean, we're back there all the time. You know, we're back.
I'm from Pittsburgh, so
family.
I understand.
Oh, Pittsburgh, gotcha.
I also understand that that's kind of what the Eagles are going through.
Gotcha.
It's easy to get to the top. It's just staying there is a little bit harder. We know about that as Steelers, that maintaining excellence takes a little bit more time. You know, you guys are getting there. I'm throwing hella shade your way right now.
I was
I'm just like I'm confused. I don't understand.
What do you think about the Eagles this year? They're still going to win the NFC East because the NFC East is terrible.
Trash. Yeah, they're so trash. Thank you. But to be honest, I'm not really worried. We got Carson back. Jay Ajayi was hurt. Our offensive line was hurt.
He's out now. He's got ACL.
Yeah, Jay Ajayi is done. You know, I feel bad for my boy. And then on defensive side, you know, Rodney McLeod. It's like we've had just things. So now, hopefully, you know, we staying healthy moving forward. I think I'm hoping work out some of the kinks. I'm like Jim Shorts. I think we rely a lot on the defensive line to dominate, and Jernigan's not back yet, and he's a key part in it as well. So I'm hoping like our secondary scheme kind of turns around a bit. But to be honest, last year, I mean, we gave up like 500 yards in Super Bowl and we still won. So I'm just like, we just need to score.
Don't break.
But the thing is, so people don't realize as great as Carson Wentz is, he's at his best when our running game is good. If you look at the games where we had 100 rushing yards, he kills, shreds. It opens up the field for him.
Was huge for that team.
That's honestly the one that I've hated. That like out of all the ones we let go, him. I did want to keep Trey Burton a lot. I didn't care to I like Dallas. I don't know how to say his name. Rookie tight end. His last name starts with a G. Goddard or whatever. But he's a rookie tight end.
Go hard. Go hard.
Go hard.
Sure.
We'll go Dallas. Go hard.
Dallas, go hard.
He was great and everything, but I mean, we have Zach Ertz. He had like 10, 11 receptions last game. And Trey Burton, to me, he instead of being like, I looked at him not like a 2, like a 1B. He was really good to me. Like I thought, but he's, you know, it makes sense to be a starter somewhere else.
It's Super Bowl hangover though.
Yeah,
it's pretty real, and we knew it was coming.
Here's the thing about Super Bowl hangover, and this is what I'm talking about. It's almost impossible to repeat a Super Bowl win. Like what you just said, they gave up 500 yards in the Super Bowl and still won against Tom Brady. So there was one play where there was no point until there was literally no time left on the on the clock. Yeah. I was like, Tom Brady's gonna come back.
That's because you play against the Patriots.
Yeah. So it's you need so many things to go your way in that spot. You lost Carson Wentz and still won the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
But it's not happening this year.
We'll see. I don't know. Why? Who's gonna win it? The Chiefs?
No, the Rams are gonna win the Super Bowl.
You think so?
Yeah, I do.
Well, I firmly believe we're going to beat them.
So before everyone starts freaking out, like, oh, he called one sideline
game. I get it.
No,
look at you.
I did call him before. I said the Steelers.
I like it, though.
I said the Steelers and the Rams.
We got receipts, though? We got receipts of you calling on here?
Yeah.
I'll look back.
Yeah. And shout out to the Rams, too, who are going to be, they're my Super Bowl pick.
What? Where are you Super Bowl pick? To play against the Steelers?
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, look, like sometimes I'm right. Like once a week I'm right on something incredibly important. And that's what I do.
And when you're wrong, we don't talk about it.
Exactly. Yeah. That's how it works. But the Rams are a very complete team. I like the Chiefs a lot too.
They're very complete.
I like the Chiefs a lot too. The one thing about the Chiefs that I can't get behind is their defense is the worst.
So
like literally
bad.
the worst
So
in the league.
bad.
So if they run into anybody like the Rams, who can
are they the worst in the league?
They intercepted Blake Bortles.
They're literally the worst in the league.
They intercepted
the worst in
Blake
Atlanta?
Bortles 4 times.
Yeah,
on
they
Sunday.
did. But that's Blake. Blake throws a pick all the time. He's a walking pick.
Blake does love.
I love Blake. I love Blake.
Blake
He
the
does.
other team. It's like one of his favorite things to do.
You know what I'm saying? He should test them out, see what they got.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And come back.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Yeah, he'll throw like 400 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 4 picks. I'm like, I did he have a? I guess he had a decent game.
I mean,
I don't know,
like,
yeah, but see, the difference with him is because he can rely on such a strong defense.
Yeah,
and you got Jalen Ramsey, who I'm a huge fan of.
Well, yeah,
that boy sassy.
We love Jalen Ramsey because
that boy sassy. I like him. He's a Uzi Vert of football.
Oh my God,
but
beautiful.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
I'm a huge fan of it. I like it. So me and my brothers, every time we call each other, be like, "Yo, so we doing this?" We be like, yeah, "You tell me." Like he just quoting him all the time. You a grown man acting like that. Like he hilarious. But I know.
Yeah, he got that work though this week though.
He did not get that work.
Really? Did Tyreek kill him?
He got him on that one. You
know how tough it is to guard that man one-on-one. That's impossible.
We live in Instagram.
Jalen Ramsey, he's great, and I love the content.
He was
Keep
tired.
it coming, okay? But I'm just saying, the L is the L. That's what we do.
He was tired.
Yeah, he didn't get his team.
At the end of the day,
team got the L.
The team. Oh yeah, the team. I thought you talked about the matchup. Oh, okay, yeah.
No. At the end of the day,
because Tyreek's numbers.
It might not be his
fantasy-wise.
It might not be his fault. So if it's not your Eagles, who do you think is the Super Bowl team right now? Week 5.
If it's not, so I'll say okay. So NFC, I do agree. Rams are the strongest, like most complete. I felt like the rushing defense would have been better though.
Yeah, not a good look for them this week, especially because this. But I will say though,
and it was like
the Seahawks emphasized
them?
running the ball over the past 2 games that they won. That's what their focus was. And the first 2 games, they were focusing on throwing the ball. Yeah. No. 2 losses. Yeah. So I was not impressed with their rushing defense this week either. Especially
there was another game
I
felt like against the Vikings was really strong, but I feel like there was another game. I don't know. Like
Carson had a crazy game though too. Like that Carson was. He was playing. And
he looked really good, yeah.
And also for teams, all these teams, the Eagles, everybody has things to work on within the next few months.
The
fact that the Rams only really have like one really facet to like tighten up is crazy.
And it's not that bad to be. I mean, like they just gotta put the Band-Aid on it. To be honest, like we gotta like
they don't have the sacks like that actually. As much as people thought they would.
I felt like, to be honest, I thought the defensive line would have been. I mean, but I kind of knew. Every time that always happens, I'm like, oh, they about to be. And then it's like, but I mean, they're holding it up and down. But like I will say, so out of NFC, Rams, and out of AFC, as long as Tom's has a pulse, like I don't know, it's so hard to count him out. As good as the Chiefs look, I love Andy Reid so much, I really do. But it just does not. I don't know what it is, but I mean, there's time management, his timeout use and clutch moments. I don't know.
He is an Eagles fan who just watched the Eagles beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl last year, and he's still like, I don't know.
Yeah, because he's not crazy.
I know, but like the Patriots are that dominant.
The Patriots are dead. Every year.
But I'm saying that that's if we're not. Right. We're talking about if we're not.
But yes,
I do have real strong confidence that we get in the postseason. That's nobody wants to play the Eagles in postseason. I know. Oh gosh, our fan base. Right. No, but like if we get when we get in the postseason, no one wants to play us in the postseason. Nobody. I don't care. The Rams don't. I mean, look. We're gonna play.
You have to respect the Super Bowl.
I think we're gonna beat the Rams when we play them in LA this year. Firmly do. I do. I think it's gonna be a high scoring game, and that's the only way we could beat them though, because Todd Gurley is an issue.
He is an issue.
But he's not even gonna be the one. I think it's gonna be Cooper Kupp that's killing us.
Oh, I
mean, he had a concussion this week. So
he did. But Brandon Cooks did get another one, right? I'm getting concerned for him. Like, it might be.
It's getting up there also.
Yeah.
But this week will be a good test for the Chiefs against the Patriots, and I'm really excited for that game.
You think?
All right. Yeah,
the defense is not that good.
No, the defense is not good. But look, they can just put up some. The Patriots defense isn't good either, but it's in Foxborough. Right, exactly. So this is what it is. Like that's really the game to watch this weekend, especially because Tom threw a little shade, which we'll get to in Pettycourt. He just had to sprinkle a little shade.
Quick question.
I thought it's a little different this year. Football's different now.
He did. Yeah, he did.
It's not as physical.
I can't wait to get
tough roll, Tom.
On a little sidelight question for y'all, like. I got both Mahomes and Deshaun Watson on my fantasy team. I might start like Mahomes against Patriots or Deshaun against who they got? I know it's not somebody that good.
Who is Deshaun Watson? Okay, we got the Google machine. You know what? That's really tough.
Because I wanted to start Deshaun this past week. I don't know
if you know this, but we have the Maybe I'm Crazy Fantasy Football League. So if you want to play next year
sign me up
as a celebrity player.
They got the Bills.
So it's like who? Because it's not like Patriots have a good But the thing is, Tom could keep him off that field for a little bit.
I tell you what,
That's
the Bills defense has been playing better and better. They've been playing worse and worse teams, but they're taking off points allowed every. So if you want to play the averages. Because Josh Allen been balling. Mahomes, you got it. Mahomes.
Right.
Mahomes get the patience.
I haven't sat him down. I haven't sat him down.
I think you got to stick with Mahomes.
I haven't sat him down. Yeah, I haven't sat him down.
As tempting as that is, I think you'll end up.
Because this past week I was like, I had to go. I was like, nah, let me put in Deshaun because it's like, no, Mahomes is gonna throw a pick at some point. I knew it was coming.
It was eventually law of averages. He was eventually going to do it.
And then the one day I started him too.
And like the amount
over Cousins this week. Last week.
I've been sorry, but the one day, the one time I was thinking about it, and like it was, if I would have had Deshaun in there, that would have made the difference for me to win. But you know
what? That's
it happens, yo.
We got to get you a Deacon rag.
I know. I got. You know what I'm saying.
Can we work on that? Can we get an official? Maybe I'm crazy. Deacon rag.
I buy bounty. And then,
you got.
Because it gets warm in here.
It does, and I wear clothes that aren't conducive because you tell me I can't have my shoulders out.
You insist on wearing. I did not tell you can't.
You did. You said. Remember you told me I can't have my shoulders out.
With no
what you mean?
With no shoes on, and now you're gonna accuse me of saying that you can't wear your shoulders out. It's egregious. All right. So you're a Sixers fan.
Yes.
Are they going to win the East this year? There's no more LeBron, so you guys have a chance.
I know. So obviously, it's Boston and Philly in the Eastern Conference Finals this year. They might as well chalk that. That's what it is. No.
There you go.
You know why plays there now.
I'm convinced.
I know, and I feel like that's a big difference. He's obviously better than DeMar. That's like not a knock on DeMar. It's just how good Kawhi is. No.
Okay.
We have too much. Boston and Philly have too much for Toronto. They can't handle it.
I don't know. I was very rough on Toronto last year. Raptors fans were very upset with me. But look,
they never do it.
Y'all don't know how to do it. But this year, I gotta wait and see because
Kawhi is a big difference.
Kawhi.
It's a big. You can't count them out.
So you guys are we really going to act like we care who comes out of the East?
Yes.
Okay.
You gonna tell me Kyrie Irving?
The East is
don't give no Warriors work.
Actually, a watchable conference.
It is
for the first time.
Because LeBron, but it's always watchable wherever LeBron is. But
no. But I'm saying we know LeBron's gonna win it.
Right,
like,
exactly.
It's gonna be fun. Like, we're all
right. It's cute. It's cute. Oh my God.
Okay, so
we'll see who wins at the end.
I want some highlights.
LeBron. So who's your favorite? Who's the? Well, you're gonna agree that LeBron is the best player currently, right? Like we can move past that conversation.
For every basketball player that's ever lived from the beginning of time to now, LeBron is better than them.
Perfect.
No.
Thank you.
He is.
Yes.
He just said it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Absolutely.
So you think he's better than Michael?
Yes, I do think that Michael is more important to the history of basketball as a culture because he revolutionized the game, right? So he's one of the few players that can still play this today. Okay,
I can live with that.
Yeah, he could play this game and dominate this game today.
People that think LeBron is better than Jordan, I don't freak out about it anymore. As you know, if he continues to win championships, it's going to make it very difficult on him, as we know. But I'm a Michael zealot.
So why? So hold on. Could I ask you a question about the championship thing? Which is it really irritates me. It really does.
Yes.
LeBron's just always there, and he's won rings. So it's not about how many rings. Look, I've won them. So I don't have to prove that. And he's been a Finals every time, MVP every time. Like it's laughable when people put Kobe in this situation. Now Kobe's great, and he is arguable, but he wasn't always the Finals MVP in his Finals team. So sorry, no, you had a better player on the team.
Kobe is one of the all-time greats.
He's absolutely.
There's going to be some people that say that Kobe is the greatest, and that's just
of all time, which is just bias.
Purely opinion-based.
Yes, exactly.
And you're totally entitled to have your opinion, and you're totally entitled to be wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I love Kobe Bryant. I love him.
Right. It's just Kobe,
Philly,
and he's a lovable uncle now.
Yeah.
He's completely rebranded, and it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, it's great.
Rebranded, absolutely. He's a nice guy now.
Yes. Totally rebranded. The homecoming picture's adorable.
Amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah. You can't.
You can't beat it. It's unstoppable branding.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Unstoppable branding.
Yeah. Right.
However.
Yes.
Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time.
And so why?
Because he is the most dominant. Here's the thing. This is where I'm running into the issue.
Shaq is the most dominant player ever. Shaq is the most dominant force I've ever
athlete. And then people
and not say Shaq.
Yeah. He had a Tic Tac in his hand and he was dunking it.
The most dominant winner of all time.
Well, the center position is the most disrespected position of all of basketball.
It is very disrespectful.
I love this job.
But here's the thing. Here's what I'll say.
Yeah.
He is the greatest champion of all time.
Most dominant champion, right? Yes.
There are people that have more.
Yes.
Exactly. And when people start talking about if you take away the championships, what is Michael Jordan like? Did you watch basketball?
That's stupid because he's still great. If you average 37 in a season,
they're never made it to a fucking game 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's insane.
And if we want to get like
Shout out to
crazy
Scottie
about the
Pippen.
LeBron thing, and this is look. I don't particularly.
That's my favorite player of all time, Scottie, and Penny Hardaway.
Scottie Pippen. I will give you that.
Thank you.
I'm starting to come around
Thank
to
you.
it's a little bit disrespectful to Scottie Pippen that he gets pushed aside.
He's great. He's great.
Everybody needs someone, all right?
I'll let you say what you're saying. I'm gonna come back with my counter.
No. I want to know why you think Scottie Pippen.
I'm talking not even Scottie no more. I'm gonna like say what you're gonna say about Michael about him being the best. Yes.
So the issue I have with LeBron and the championships is that you're not gonna win every single championship you get to, right? But there are like ways you lose a championship that does affect your legacy.
Yeah, true that.
Like how you
the
lost
Dallas
the
one's
first
always gonna be
championship was bad, and how you lost.
Really?
Yeah.
That early with that bad of a team, it was so bad. Booby gets
No, I'm sorry, not that championship.
Okay. I was about to say.
No.
Like,
nobody talks about that one.
And that's the one like famously boomed on Tim.
Seeing LeBron get drugged across the floor. That was crazy.
He gets a
Tim
mulligan on
Duncan
that one.
it was so sad.
I'm talking about the first one with the Heat. The first year with the Heat.
The Dallas one I said is always going to be a stain.
Which I knew they were going to lose the
Always gonna be a
championship from the opening press conference when they got up there with the smoke and the fucking
did it.
fire.
I believed. I bought into it. I was like, that's right. Not one, not two. Keep going. Don't stop counting.
I'm telling you, I was watching that press conference like my heart is literally breaking right now because this is you've not shared the floor together as a team. The ball has not touched the hardwood yet, and you're guaranteed.
I'll tell you why I thought they were going to win. I saw Chris Bosh up there. That was the main reason. It wasn't about LeBron and Dwayne.
Maybe dinosaurs.
No, Chris Bosh is also. Chris Bosh gets a lot of disrespect.
It's how I say
it.
That's how you say it.
Chris Bosh gets a lot of disrespect.
He does.
People have more respect for him now than when he was playing.
I know.
With
I
LeBron.
hate it. Yeah.
And Kevin Love kind of fell into the Chris Bosh category over the past couple of years in Cleveland too.
He wasn't as good as Christopher Bosh.
No. I agree with you.
Yeah. Somebody had to take that third spot, that third row,
and that third spot gets blamed for everything.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, back to the Michael thing. Like he's just the most dominant, and never getting to a Game 7, 6-0 in the finals, even with retiring and whatever else. Like to me, he's just the greatest. The greatest. Like his presence is the greatest.
I do get that. Now here is what I say about that, right? So, and this is why I'm gonna say, well, greatest. He's not more valuable to a team than LeBron is. If you can agree with that, can I tell you why?
No, I like that.
What happened the year after he left and played baseball?
I know.
What happened with LeBron the first time?
One less game.
Okay, and Scottie Pippen was in the MVP race, right? So when LeBron,
Shaq came back to save the East. With the Orlando Magic pick.
So yes, and so then when LeBron left the Cavs the first time around, they were literally the worst team in history, worst record ever, until we broke it. So we're always shooting for the best.
It's good that you're being so
until we broke it. Yeah, until we broke it. We had nobody. Whatever. They had Kyrie Irving on their team. They had Kyrie.
They did.
So when LeBron left, they were the worst team. He leaves the Miami Heat. They don't make the playoffs. They just went, like, every year he was there. They don't make it. Like, now, let's see what happened to the Cavs this year. I'm willing to bet they're going to be awful. You know what I'm saying? He's the most valuable player to a team, right? Ever, to me. And on top of that, like, when I'm looking at Jordan, I'm like, this is like no shade at all, right? To these players, this player. But I'm saying when, like, one of your biggest worries is John Starks. And he's great. But look at LeBron. But look at LeBron's worries today versus what Michael had to worry about.
I am all the way with you right now.
I'm like, yo, John Starks was spooking them. Like,
I got shotgun on this tape.
He booming on them with his left hand. He offhand. He like 6'1". You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, yo, this is what Jordan had to worry about. You had Dale Davis out there being like one of the an all-star boats for a big man. Right. And I'm like, ain't no Anthony Davis out there.
Now, it was more physical. Isaiah Thomas.
That's what I said.
But
that's what I said.
It's like beating him up.
More physical. Because you want to know why? Let me tell you why. When you go 24-hour fitness and you're playing against bums who have no skill, what do? They foul, they're physical, right? Yes. This day is the most skillful era ever. Joel Embiid, when you watch him play, it's crazy what that man does. When him and Jason Tatum are doing ones this working out off season, he's giving Jason Tatum, who is a wing, very skilled, work on the perimeter. Bruh, you gonna tell me that Malik Rose, you know what I'm saying, all them was out there doing, no, what they're out there to do, they're literally getting hired to boom dudes, right? like just bum stuff. I'm
LeBron
sorry, that's bummy. That's so bummy. Like go out there and hurt him. Don't worry about no buckets. Don't do no good passing. Boom him.
Perfect example. LeBron was 275 when he was in the league.
5 seconds. Okay, the NBA wanted to make the game
absolutely
more international,
which I like.
So they had to take out the hand check and the bullying, so the international.
But I wouldn't mind the hand check. I don't mind that. But it's just the when I see like Kurt Rambis getting clotheslined.
Streets games.
No, right. But like that's what I'm saying. Like no, none of that. But I don't mind like I don't mind that. It's just like when I see, like I said, when I see Kurt Rambis getting clotheslined, like he had every right. I was like, I wish he would have swung and hit him.
Like I like the way the NBA is now.
Me too.
Like it's fun to watch that and watch Oakley and all that stuff. Like cool, but I'm more interested in the NBA the way it is now. Like everyone having to be skilled. I'm with you there.
It's like that's what I'm saying. So he has to worry about Curry, Klay, and KD on the same team.
Look, since he left Cleveland the first time, all right, LeBron has had legit ballers, all-stars, Hall of Famers that he's played alongside. So
right. He'll have one or two good teammates.
If you're the same level, okay.
And Scottie Pippen is what?
Scottie Pippen is what?
Dennis Rodman is what?
Okay.
Steve,
What's Chris Bosh?
Steve Kerr.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
What's Dwayne Wade? Hall of Famer.
Right. Also, LeBron has never.
Harper.
Phil Jackson, it does exist.
Rondo.
Yo, thank you.
He is one of the greatest coaches of all time. Literally the second greatest coach of all time, in my opinion, because Greg Popovich is one to me. Phil is two to me. I know he has more rings, but Phil is two. Mike Brown. Spoelstra, respect to Spoelstra.
Hold on now. Hold on. All right.
Blatt. What's his name? Blatt? Blatt?
Okay, but maybe not the first go around in Cleveland.
Okay,
right?
so the second go around with Blatt.
All right.
I love saying his name.
No, that's the only way to say it. That's the only way to say it. LeBron has say since he went back to Cleveland in everything that happens. So from that point forward, you can't blame any of the coaching.
Kobe ain't had no say on the Lakers because he had a lot of say.
Okay,
but I'm saying because Phil Jackson was his coach on the Lakers, and he had say.
I'm saying LeBron has say who the coach is.
This is escalated.
Like you can't. To me, LeBron gets no passes on any personnel decisions whatsoever. Like J.R. Smith, that was your move, dog.
Yeah.
And
he made dumb ones. I was like, Derrick, bro, why?
The Cavs are dealing with his contract and his team right now.
I had real actual pain for LeBron in that moment when J.R. Smith forgot what he was doing.
That changed the whole face.
It changed the NBA.
I'm not saying they would have won it, but I'm saying 6-7 games. You know what I'm saying?
It changed the course of NBA history.
It did.
Okay? That
J.R. Hennessy. LeBron's a Laker. J.R. Hennessy.
That he was in a playoff game.
I hated him for that squint afterwards. Yes. You know what time was up there.
But I can't all the way feel for him because that was your decision to get. You know what J.R. Smith is.
J.R. earned a spot on the team. He did very well to be on the team. He's a great contributor. There's other players. I was just like,
I'm saying that LeBron can't complain about personnel or coaching or none of that because that's what he signed up for. If he wanted to go play for a coach like Popovich, I'm pretty sure he could have figured out a way to get down there. Okay,
I'm pretty
sure
give you that.
He could have made that happen.
I give you that. But just and then to end it all, just like LeBron and Friary beat the greatest team in NBA history, and there's just no argument with that. Like Michael has literally never beaten nobody better than that team, and so therefore I'm not talking about that no more. You ain't beat nobody better than them, and
that
LeBron
has. Very, very low time for me. I'll keep it real because I talked a lot of shit. I had to eat it.
Rightfully so.
And LeBron had the greatest block in NBA history.
Saith the Lord, because now you've got a towel rack where LeBron's locker used to be.
That is petty.
No,
that is petty.
I'm very petty.
Why?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh damn, I guess we're time's up. I was gonna ask you about Le'Veon, but it's all right.
No, we have time.
Yeah,
you're a Steelers fan.
But like we can.
You're a Steelers fan.
So I'm Steelers fan, but like birth, kind of like you with Philadelphia. But my brother played for the Dolphins for a long time, so I've adopted the Dolphins. And then I went to school down there, obviously. And then, yeah. But Steelers is like is homegrown town. I don't allow myself to get emotional about the Steelers because I don't really need to most of the time because they're usually consistent. Exactly. This year, not so much. But look, the Le'Veon Bell situation is a disaster, which I said before.
Do you support him?
OTAs even started. Yes, because I don't make any less money if Le'Veon makes more money. Like it's not like there's a pie, and if Joy makes this much money, then Le'Veon, like if Le'Veon makes this much money, I make less money. It's not coming out of my pocket at all. Like maybe in the course of like if you want to get macro and like butterfly effect in the world, but I really don't care.
No,
Le'Veon deserves the money that he deserves,
I think so too.
and I mean we just saw what happened with Earl Thomas. Like at any moment your career can change. So if he wants to hold out to get more money or guaranteed contract, like cool, ain't gonna bother me. Like if the team suffers, like that's what it is. But I'm sure the other players don't. At some point, like
first of all, Connor's
frustrated.
doing great.
I'm sorry,
James Conner,
yeah,
doing great.
But he's not Le'Veon Bell,
and
that's no disrespect.
Of course
No,
he knows that.
No, up until the last game, he was doing okay.
Yeah.
Now we can say he's doing great.
Yeah, don't say okay.
He's doing
really
great.
good.
And you put air quotes when you say great. I'm not going to do it.
When Le'Veon comes back after week 7, he is going to be immediately back in the lineup. Like
hopefully
immediately.
We need a
James Conner. Yeah, I mean, he might be.
No, I'm talking about Le'Veon.
Oh,
we're trying to make a move on James.
Come on, Le'Veon.
I'm no disrespect.
No, I don't think that.
Right. So now he don't play.
But we're talking about out of the two.
I thought he was playing great.
He is for Pittsburgh. Stay there. We want Le'Veon. But I will say, like the reason why I agree with you fully, like. I support I do think they need to have a stronger union. Like they just need to have an NBA mentality. Because I've said this before. People get offended when I said I don't care. The NFL is out of sports is the plantation of the sports. Like they have such a mastermind. Like Jerry Jones is trash. Hate him.
It's not
trash, garbage.
Okay, well, everyone looks at you because you're the Cowboys fan in here.
Sorry. You hate him too. Don't lie. You hate him. I know you do.
I hate Jason Garrett more.
She's off Jason Garrett right now.
He's also garbage. But I just.
Well, no, I mean they have a weak players union. That's not debatable.
Disrespectful.
But
Owners
the problem is
disrespectful.
The problem is you gotta fight for that. And the issue is the disparity between the guys that make enough money to deal with a holdout to the guys that don't make enough money is like
That's the thing.
Yeah. So the crossover in these union negotiations gets tricky because you got to get everybody on the same side. You got to save up so that when you're in a lockout, you can maintain it, but that's what it is.
But exactly. I mean, and then just start being like, some of them got to get smarter and realize they're thousandaires and not millionaires with that contract. I mean, and if they're smart enough, they could probably go into that. I know somebody.
Spend their money, but like, here's what my opinion.
That's true. That's very true.
Like,
you can't.
Like we got all technical. Like this is what they agreed to in CBA, and you can't sign a contract and then come back and say you want to amend it and all that stuff. And like, I get all that. To me, like business-wise, branding-wise, PR-wise, and just like getting with the future, like ride this wave. When you're talking about the NBA, we talk about this all the time. Get ahead of it. Like, why is the NFL, the billion-dollar enterprise that you are, would you not just want your players to have lifetime health care? You can't on one hand talk about these head injuries and collisions and falling on the quarterback and all this and then you're like cool with your players not having lifetime health insurance.
Like what?
You don't really mean that.
We're like,
this,
you know, this is like
that's
sugar,
not something you should have to negotiate. Like it should just be something as the owners like, let's just do this.
Let me just be a good human being.
It's not
How about that?
Good human being. Like there's dividends to everything. Like if you take care of people on the end, they take care of you.
Exactly.
Like fix the connection there. Get away from the like, I own this team, therefore I own you mentality. And then you have a players and the owners on the same page, it changes things. And this is the youth. Like when I want to know what's happening, I don't ask people my age. I ask my nephew who is 16, 15 years old. What are y'all doing? What do you care about? What are you listening to? What are you doing?
Yep. Stay in tune.
Because I'm low-key old now. Like, and so if I'm old, you damn sure old.
My soul is approaching washed. My soul is approaching washed.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us
Thank
again.
you guys.
Watch Insecure on HBO.
Yes.
This was really fun. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Yeah.